you guys, so today I'm going to be introducing you to some of my all-time favorite lip products. They're all sheer. I love a sheer lip product. If you've been following me for a little bit, you probably already know this. I feel like I have to defend my sheer love, so here it is. I'll be frank, eating is of a high priority to me. Eating is virtually the only thing that I care about in this world aside from dogs. So I feel like I would rather have a lip product on that I can either easily remove and easily reapply after, or something that is going to be kind of coming off a little bit throughout the day, so that by the time I'm at Cheesecake Factory, it's like I don't have to worry about my lip situation. I'm already sweating. This is gonna be a long fucking video. Let's do this! So these are the Marc Jacobs lip gloss sticks. They come in 8 colors. I purchased 2 of the colors myself, and then they sent me a couple in the mail. So now I've had the opportunity to try all of the colors. I still think the 2 that I picked up myself are my favorites. So I have Sugar Sugar and Mocha Latte. Here's the thing about these guys. They do come in a few darker shades, which is nice to have the option to pick up, but I will say, if you look at these 2 darker shades or brighter shades on the outside, they're so patchy and they really don't apply the same way that the lighter shades do. So Sugar Sugar, Mocha Choca, Frappuccino, whatever thing applies great. Preach applies fine, which is more of a coral, and Sweet Escape applies fine as well. So those would be the 4 that I would recommend picking up if any of those colors appeal to you. I just found that the darker shades or the brighter shades went on a lot patchier. So for me, that's not something that I would quickly recommend to you guys. I do have a few other small gripes about this product before I move into what's great about it. The one thing, I mentioned this in my other video when I first used them, is that you have to twist up the product and you cannot twist it back down. It twists up like a super small amount, which is great. So it would be pretty hard to twist up like so much that you were like, oh God, this is too much and now I need to twist it down. Like, you probably will never do that, but I just think that, especially because Marc Jacobs is a little bit of a higher price point, I don't feel like there's any reason to have some kind of discrepancy with packaging like that. The other small thing that I wanted to mention is that all of these shades, I'm pretty sure all of these shades have a glitter to them. It's not gritty at all. On my lips, it doesn't show up because I have pretty like lightly pigmented lips. This is my lips with just a balm over top. But if you were someone with a little bit more pigmentation to your lip or a deeper skin tone, you might see those sparkles come through a little bit more. So if that's something you're not really keen on, it's just something to be conscious of. Okay, so now we can move into what I actually enjoy about this product. So this is Sugar Sugar. I'll apply first. This guy is like almost perfectly a My Lips But Better color for me. I love a nude lip that is almost my exact lip color personally, because I just feel like it's so wearable and it's something that, like, when it starts to come off, it's not really noticeable and it's really easy to touch up. You're not gonna see if I applied it a little messy on the run. These are so comfortable on the lips. They're so soft feeling and hydrating feeling. They wear pretty well in my opinion. Obviously when you're getting into the realm of sheer lips or more glossy lips, you are compromising a little bit of that longevity, but these ones for me are a little bit more long wearing in comparison to a few other formulas I have pulled. And then this is the Mocha Latte one. So Sugar Sugar is a little bit lighter than my natural lip color, and this one is a little bit darker than my natural lip color, just the slightest amount, but they're both so wearable in my opinion. I've been using both of these almost every single day since I got them, so I love those ones a lot. Then we move into the Bite French Press collection. I talked about these in a recent video as well. Flat White is the color I put on in my video the other day. I thought when I saw this that it would almost be too gray for me. But this is another one that I've been wearing so much since I got it. It's kind of one of those lip products that I'm like, I put something else on and then I'm like, oh, but I could be wearing Flat White. So these are so beautiful. I used to be someone that felt like a gloss is a gloss is a gloss kind of thing, and that there wasn't that much of a difference between different products. But this gloss for me is the epitome of like what gloss should be. I just feel like it makes my lips look so plump. It almost kind of like fills in my fine lines, whereas I feel like those Marc Jacobs ones make my lips look a little bit more textured than they appear to me. And this one does the opposite of that. It just makes your lips look so like soft and smooth and supple. It has a really light coffee scent to it. It's not something that I feel like is super overwhelming, that I'm like, oh, like getting annoyed by it by any means. It's just really nice and super pleasant. I feel like this is like a grown-up woman's gloss. Like, I put this on and I feel like I have a business meeting to be at. I'll put on Dirty Chai, which is kind of right down the middle in their shade range. So this one is Dirty Chai. This one is such a beautiful color as well. It just has this really, really pretty kind of warmth to it that will work across so many different skin tones. Like it's not gonna be too dark and overwhelming for people that have really fair skin, and it's still gonna be really nice and warm and rich on deeper skin tones as well. So that one's kind of right down the middle in terms of the shade range, and then I'll try on the deepest one as well so you can see how that one looks. This one is called Black Coffee. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little. So for me, I wouldn't personally wear a lip gloss this dark. I feel like this is probably going to be more suited towards deeper skin tones, but I just wanted to show you the texture and application of that in comparison to how those Marc Jacobs ones swatched on my hand. So to me, this applied a lot less patchy than the darker Marc Jacobs ones do. I feel like the gloss is just the right amount of thickness where you can apply in a pretty smooth, even layer and it kind of stays put. So I'm not left feeling like the dark ones apply super, super patchy or anything like that. I feel like they apply in a pretty even layer, especially considering that I'm such a light skin tone that normally you'd be able to see any kind of like patchiness really badly with colors that dark on my skin. I want to sell you on the Marc Jacobs ones, but I feel like everything I've said about them is like not selling you on them. I don't know. I wanted to mention two MAC lipsticks that they're old, you know, but they're good. So the first one is called Sea Sheer. This is a color, beautiful. So these are both colors that I would consider everyday reds. That's how I sold them when I worked at MAC. It's pink, essentially, but it's just a nice sheer color, and it does have that kind of really pretty rich red tone to it that makes it feel a little bit more grown up, a little bit more put together kind of thing, but it's not something that's so bold and unwearable like a really bright red lipstick. And again, it's just something that's really comfortable on the lip. It's MAC. It's gonna be a formula that you're pretty used to because I'm imagining that most of you have tried MAC lipsticks at this point. So that one is Sea Sheer. I love it so much. It's beautiful even when you have like a lip balm on and you apply a little bit of that in the center and just kind of rub it together. And then I have On Hold, which has been a favorite of mine for so long as well. So this one is a little bit more red. Again, I don't find it to be like unwearably so, and I'll show you them side by side. So that is Sea Sheer there, and then that is On Hold. On Hold is a little bit more of a red. This is a little bit more kind of corally, but I just find both of them so beautiful. They're just two shades to me that have always stood out in MAC's range, but not necessarily to consumers. I feel like just not many people know about them, not many people talk about them, but they're such like standbys for me. And it's kind of always what I think to reach for when I want something that's a little bit more red and a little less nude. By the way, I just want to quickly say I'm going to be swatching a ton of different lip products today. So first of all, this is going to be more informational than funny. I'm so sorry. And secondly, note that the color of my lips are gonna start to get stained a little bit. So when we're moving into more nude colors, it's probably gonna be shifting a little bit more pink or a little bit more red. Another formula that I really love is the Too Faced Sweet Peach Oil Gloss. So I just picked a couple shades here. This one is called Peach Tease. These ones are really pretty, but I will say they are one of the like shortest wear times out of everything that I'll mention today. They're really, really comfortable. They're really pretty. They feel really thin on the lips, which I like, but they are something that you're gonna be reapplying quite a bit. This one is called Tickle Me Peach. I love this one. Oh my God. You guys will also note I'm pulling a lot of similar colors. It's because I love nudes and I love coral reds. Bury me in an orange red and I will be happy. This color to me is just so beautiful, and I really do love how sheer these glosses are and how comfortable they feel. They definitely do feel more like an oil, which is a little bit kind of softer on the lips rather than like our super sticky gloss. But yeah, the wear time is a little bit of a downside for sure, especially if you are somebody that can't really be constantly touching up. Filling out this description box is gonna be something else. I'm a better YouTuber these days, but I don't know if I'm that good. A lot of you know it's coming here. These are the Lancome Juicy Shakers. Please just accept me for who I am. I've been obsessed with these for a very, very, very long time. A lot of you guys ask me what my absolute favorite shades are. My two favorite shades are Piece of Cake and Mangoes Wild, and I actually like to mix them together, and I'll show you that right now. So Piece of Cake, I've been hearing from some of you guys, you're having a hard time finding. I'm not sure if it's like a Canada exclusive or a Sephora exclusive or something. I'm not really sure what the deal is, but if you can find it, definitely get it. It's gorgeous. So these guys are kind of like pigment suspended in oil. Again, they're not super, super long wearing, but they're so beautiful. That's how I like to apply them. My favorite combination is putting on Piece of Cake, and sometimes I'll wear that just by itself, and then putting Mangoes Wild over top. Oh my God. The thing that I love about these is Everything. They're so beautiful. They make your lips look really hydrated. They feel almost like water on the lips. And it's funny because given how like watery they really feel, I don't find them bleeding a whole lot. And they also don't settle weird into my lips at all. They just kind of sit nicely where they are, and then they slowly kind of fade away, and I just reapply 24 times a day. No matter how I'm feeling, I can kind of put these on and I feel just like a little bit more like a Victoria's Secret angel. And I'll only say that about a few products. I don't whip out the Victoria's Secret label easily. My other Victoria's Secret Angel's lip is the YSL Tintin oils. I'm not sure. You can find these at some Sephora's, but they are a little bit harder to find these days. These are actually the epitome of a Victoria's Secret angel lip, especially this particular shade. I think it's shade 4. Yeah, shade number 4. I wish these weren't discontinued. They're such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product. They feel a lot more like a traditional gloss than the Lancome Juicy Shakers. I would swatch them all, but honestly, they're so sheer. They don't really have a ton of color to them. If you're somebody that has more pigmented lips, you probably won't be as enticed towards this because it's still a tint, like there's still color there, but it really is, it's very, very, very light. So it's gonna work best on people who have lightly pigmented lips or people who are looking for just kind of the tiniest little hint of color. But this really, again, is just one of those products that I'm like, oh, I'm beautiful. I personally like the scent of these ones because I find it a little bit more fruity, whereas some of their lip stuff is really floral. Although you definitely will notice the fragrance is pretty intense, especially like if you get some on your tongue or whatever when you're talking, like you can definitely taste the perfume. So for me, I wouldn't recommend this to somebody if you have like notoriously chapped lips or dry lips. You might find it a little bit irritating because that level of fragrance is pretty high in YSL lip products in my opinion. So these are newer. They look like the Tintin oils, but these are the Tintin Bombs, I think they're called. Liquid Color Balm. So this is shade number 6. This is kind of, I think, what they phased out the Tintin oils for, which hurts my feelings. But the good thing is that they're also really beautiful. Oh my God. So these have a little bit more pigment to them than the Tintin oils do, and they do have a little bit more of a kind of balmy feeling. They almost feel a little bit cooling in a way, and they're just, I mean, again, what can I say? I love a sheer lip, I really do. These ones are definitely a little bit less glossy than a lot of the other things that I'm pulling today. So if you're somebody that really, really doesn't like the appearance of super shiny lips, you might be more drawn towards the Tintin Bombs. They're not called that, they're called Liquid Color Balm. Putting it in my memory bank. So yeah, they are a little bit less glossy. These ones are a little bit more long wearing than like let's say the Lancome Juicy Shakers or the Tintin Oil. There's no real true nude shades in my opinion in this range, but they do have a lot of like brighter pinks, brighter kind of like orangey red colors. So there is a lot of really, really beautiful shades for summer. This one is one of my favorites, so that is shade number 6, yeah. Also, another quick disclaimer. Sorry, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. I know I was waiting to do this video because I know a lot of you guys were asking me for drugstore alternatives. I'll be honest. Drugstores where I'm from, they are a hideous nightmare. Canada doesn't have Ulta, and Ulta is like a delightful shopping experience in my opinion. So we have really shitty drugstores with a very select amount of makeup, in my opinion, in comparison to like an Ulta or even your guys' Targets are they're kind of fire when it comes to drugstore products. And the other thing is that drugstore products are quite a bit more expensive in Canada, which is why I don't personally gravitate towards them. A lot of the times to shop for something at Sephora, it's only a few dollars more, whereas in America, it's like quite a sizable difference shopping at the drugstore versus at Sephora. So for me, every time I go into a drugstore and I start looking at products, I'm just like, man, I'd rather just spend an extra $3 and get something from like Urban Decay or Bite or YSL or Lancome or whatever. What I'm gonna do is next time I'm down in the States, I'm going to try and pop into an Ulta and grab as many sheer lip products as I can so that I can kind of try everything out over the next little while, and then I will do another version of this video, drugstore version, when you're balling on a budget. Or maybe you're not on a budget and makeup just isn't your priority, which is completely fair because your priority should be food or like children, I guess. Next, we have the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquers. These are magnifique. There you go, Lancome, tossing in ye old French terms for you. So this is shade 515. This is the one you've heard me talk about the most. This formula is truly unlike any other formula I've ever used. If you find yourself sitting up at night saying, why can't I have it all? Why can't I have glossy lips that are sheer and beautiful and Victoria's Secret angel looking, but also the wear time of something that's not sheer and glossy? Lancome L'Absolu has the solution for you. These are unbelievably long wearing. Here's my truth. I'm gonna speak my truth, okay? Let me toss in my 2 cents. I would fucking never wear shit this color out of the house. I just wouldn't. I would truly not. I, forever and a day, if you see me out of the house, I will be wearing a nude lipstick. And if I'm not, I'm probably on fucking drugs. Because I would never, in my right, sober mind, make the decision to wear something this color out of the house unless it was a Lancome L'Absolu. Because they're beautiful. And they're super, super long wearing. Like, I'm honestly stunned by it because every time I apply it, I'm like, oh, this is tinted water. It applies in such a bizarre way that I truly can't explain to you. You just have to feel it for yourself. But it's so, I'm just shocked. I'm fucking shocked every time I wear them because I actually will wear these brighter colors out of the house when I wear it. When you put it on, it doesn't feel like it's gonna last, but it does. It's so much more long wearing than anything else that I have kicking around. They have a really, really extensive shade range with these guys. Whew, are you guys getting sick of this yet? Okay, so the next ones that I have are from Ilia. These are the Tinted Lip Conditioners. These guys, oh my Lord. That color. These guys are a little bit more pigmented than what I would normally go for, but the good thing about them is that they are not glossy at all. Like, they are straight up balm. There's not a ton of gloss to them. So if you're somebody that likes the sheer look, but you don't want it to be super, super glossy, or you don't want to worry about like your hair getting in it or whatever, shit like that, these are gonna be more what you're probably looking for. So this is the shade Woohoo, RIP my Sims. Haven't checked in on them in a while. They're probably hurting. And then this is the shade Maybe Baby. I really love the texture of these when I want something that's a little bit less glossy, especially because, I mean, I love a dewy face, and I love a glossy lip, and I love a little shimmer on my eyes. But there's days where I'm like, you know, I'm looking like pretty moist. Sometimes, admittedly, there's days where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be this moist. It's rare, but it does happen. So on days where I don't feel like wearing something as glossy and I just feel like it's too overwhelming with all this dew going on, I will reach for something more like this with the balm texture that's not gonna be as liquidy on my lips. Sticking with balms for a second, I wanted to mention the Sugar Lip Balms from Fresh. I, for the longest time, thought Sugar was a different brand from Fresh. But then every time I'd see it, I'd be like, isn't that Fresh? And I kept getting so confused. It is Fresh. So they have so many fucking shades of these lip balms, and they're all really, really beautiful. So this is the shade Honey. It's a really, really pretty and super universal color. It's gonna look good pretty much across all skin tones, in my opinion. And it does have enough pigment to it where people with a little bit deeper skin tone could definitely wear this and you would still notice a difference, whereas like the YSL tintin oils, you're not going to see as much on deeper skin tones. So that shade to me is like one of the most beautiful shades in the world. I also like applying this on my cheeks every now and again as a blush because it's just such a pretty neutral color. And then they have some other shades like Punch here, which have a little bit more kind of color to it. And I just love that they have so many shades and they're all beautiful. I've tried so many different ones of that lip balm and I love them all. Okay, you guys have heard me talk about these recently too. So these are the YSL Vinyl Creams. I don't think they're discontinued, but then again, I'm honestly not sure. So this is shade 411. I know I had another shade of this that I really loved that was like way more orangey. Was this it? I don't think so. This one's so much more red. It's also beautiful. But remember that video I did with Christy? I felt like we both put on the same, well, why don't I just look at the description? YSL Vinyl Cream in 406. But where is it? I lost that shade, but that's my favorite shade, 406. I love this one too if you like a little bit more red, so this is 411. And then let me show you my final shade I really like, my final form. Oh right, I forgot to tell you why I like these. I had that on for like maybe 30 seconds and it left the most beautiful stain underneath. I usually don't gravitate towards things that stain because I often find that it stains only where my lips are super fucked up, and then anywhere my lips are hydrated, it doesn't stain. So it's like really drawing attention to places where my lips are dry or cracked or whatever. But I feel like this one stains so nice and evenly. So this is why I love it. These are pretty long wearing on their own anyways, even though they are really, really glossy. This is shade 410. It's one of my other favorites. But the thing that's nice is that when these do start to wear off, they leave behind this beautiful stain that's really even. And this product to me is super versatile because I feel like you can wear it so many different ways. You can apply it kind of like full force like this and leave it, and the gloss will eventually over time kind of like wear off, but you'll be left with this beautiful stain. Or you can put it on, take it off right away and leave that stain on over top and just have it stained right from the beginning, so you don't have to worry about it wearing off or maybe getting on your skin or anything. Or you can put it on, take it off, and put a balm over top, which looks so beautiful. Oh, I should have put those ones on last. You guys have probably heard me talk about this a lot too, and this is the fuck, this is like the worst time to put this one on. This is the Perricone MD No Lipstick Lipstick. It's not doing it justice over top of this stain. This is like the most beautiful everyday lip. There's only one shade, and that is the shade on my hand, so that you can see it a little bit more true to color rather than this, which looks a little bit more pinky. I love it so much. I think it's like a staple product. It's like a little black dress kind of lipstick. I feel like everyone should have it. It's just one of those products that I can put on no matter what makeup I'm wearing, and it just goes, it just works. Next one you guys have heard me rave about so much, and that's the Fendi Gloss. You're not getting a good picture of this right now at all with this tint underneath, but it's just one of those lip products that I've seen on like every skin tone under the sun because I've watched so many people's Fenty reviews because I felt like it was such a like weirdly reviewed product. And every single time someone put this on, I was like, immaculate, perfect, stunning. You are the most incredible human being I've ever seen in my life. The most beautiful man and or woman I've ever witnessed. I cannot contain myself. Your beauty is too much. The formula is beautiful. I don't find it too sticky or too watery where it's coming off really, really quickly. I feel like it wears super well. It's literally like almost a perfect formula in my opinion. It smells like fucking pineapple. It's lovely. All right, you guys, so those are my favorite sheer lip products that will now sit in a box and never be organized back into their appropriate drawers ever again. My lips are in severe pain. Everything I mentioned today will be linked in the description box below for your convenience and accessibility. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below, and I will get back to you. If there's any product, especially drugstore, that I'm missing out on that you think I'm going to love more than I've ever loved anything, you let me know, because we're thinking about getting jackets. Okay, anyways, talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye.